Hello, my name is Archie and I'm 24. I live in Cheltenham, England. So, to start with, I wanted to run through the three most important things I think are about teaching. For me personally, the three tops would be empathy, patience, and passion. So, let's start with empathy. Uh, I like to think of myself as the student themselves and sort of look back at my own school days and think, what would I want to see in a teacher and how they make me feel. So I try to be as encouraging as possible, but also to be understanding when perhaps the student's not fully grasping something and to try and help them through this situation. Secondly, with patience, I'm quite a patient character, I feel, and I don't like to feel like the students are rushed into answering questions that they might not completely get at first. So I try to sort of egg them on a bit, perhaps using prompts, but also maybe some gestures as well, hand gestures and so on. All right, and then lastly, with passion, I think this is probably number one for me because perhaps opposite to the empathy point, um, I would perhaps think about how the students are affected by my actions. So I would want to see sort of some kind of engaging teaching styles to get them excited about what they're learning, because if they're bored, perhaps sitting through quite a tough grammar topic, then I wouldn't want them to sort of their heads to drop and to give up easily. So if I can try and be as sort of energetic as possible, this will then reflect into the students and for them to also enjoy their learning. All right. And then next was about my best experiences in teaching. So I have taught English in both Mexico and also Poland as a second language to foreign students. And both places were similar in a private language school. Especially rewarding for me were probably the younger students. So when they weren't perhaps finding it so easy to understand the meaning of a word. For example, I seem to remember cliche, and I would also have to say how it's sort of French origins, but this was quite a tricky word to get across to them, especially the fact that it comes from French and then we also use it in English. But it was a great experience when one of my students, out of the four, I think, in the group, suddenly just got it. They had this sort of light bulb moment and they started actually explaining it to the other students in English, of course. And although I perhaps as a teacher should explain it to all four of them, I quite like the idea of this one student also kind of defining this term cliche, so that they had a bit of control and they felt like they were almost the teacher. So this helped them in the long term, and then the other students also understood, obviously. So that was a nice experience for me. All right, and then finally, why did I get into teaching? So, post uni, I wanted to travel, and I didn't want to do sort of typical travel where you just work at home, earn some money, and then go off and enjoy traveling. I wanted to do something with my travel to make money whilst I was out wherever I was. And as I mentioned, it was Mexico and also Poland. And for me, firstly, it was the travel, which was more important, and then second was the teaching. But now, after a couple of years teaching, I have actually started to enjoy it a lot more, and I feel like I'm flourishing as a teacher. I've also done some tutoring experience, so I've had a few students online, and also, I guess, sort of other than teaching, I am currently doing Deliveroo just on my bike to keep fit. And yes, I think that's it. So I appreciate you listening to this and thank you for your time.